Hello everyone and welcome back to another AFK journey video. In this video we're going to be trying the newest and craziest team comp which is being cooked up by Dragon. We've been talking all day in the AFK Analytica Discord chat for the Primal Lord CRAZED SHELLBRUTE, and somehow this idea has popped up into his brain. And you would never think about it because Graveborns, they synergize off of killing enemies. Like in the Plague Creeper we got so many buff stacks and that's why we're so overpowered. But here there are no enemies for you to kill. But why can it be good? Well, first of all, we have Thorin, who can soul plunder the boss, so even when he's gulped, he has that value. Your team will be dealing more damage to the boss. Number 2, we have Ludovic, who deals damage very similar to Smokey, because with his Life Weaver's Bloom, the active cast, he will make the enemy lose HP equal to a percentage of his attack, like up to 55% of his attack, which is similar to Smokey's Blue Aura, which is up to 200% of his attack cause the enemy to lose HP. So even though Ludovic has this, he will not be dealing as much damage as Smokey, but he gets kind of close, so he's a great like sub DPS for the team. And then we have Nero. He has attack charms and he's a melee hero. We need a melee hero because we need 2 melee heroes to be constantly alternating and taking the gulps of the boss, so that our Fresto and Fresto Illusion are free to just get off their damage and not be gulped, because then we lose all of our damage. They are a carrier, so the Fresto and his Illusion are going to be on the Graveborn buff tile because they gain more value from that. They gain the stats, for example, by being a prime carrier on the Graveborn faction. They also gain 40% bonus damage dealt to the opponent or the boss because of this icon up here, faction talents. The prime carriers deal 40% more damage to the enemy. Okay, so we have the different formations in here, and we're going to be comparing side by side. So number 1, we're going to do the Graveborn team and see whether we can break our record. And I'm going to do 2 runs of the Graveborn team because it seems like it is a bit RNG dependent. In this position, Thorin is the sacrifice, so we'll be gaining a percentage of his stats. We also do have the Graveborn 3rd final node upgrade, which is going to cause the farthest away enemy to become a sacrifice, and for 15 seconds it will lose up to 60% of the prime carrier's attack, which is also pretty high damage. Like that is kind of similar to Ludovic's skill that he has. So basically it's because of that, and even though we're getting no stacks, it doesn't matter. This might still be the best team with the resonating spell. Okay guys, without further ado, we're gonna get right into it. My heart is beating. I hope we can get a new record because this is honestly the craziest cook-up team I could even imagine. Graveborn was not even a thought in my mind to begin brainstorming as a team comp for this CRAZED SHELLBRUTE boss. So the Freyasers are going to walk up because they're not going to be teleported to the front like with the Mauler buff tiles. But we're hoping, because for whatever reason it seems like the heroes on the prime carrier buff tiles are not targeted by the boss. The boss chooses to prioritize other melee heroes if they are available. So for example, Thorin here, and when he returns Nero back to our battlefield, then he will begin trying to gulp the Nero as well and avoid the Fresto and his illusion because they began on the buff tile. However, I think if you have only one melee hero here, then he would begin gulping the Fresto. Okay, so far so good. 53 seconds, 23 billion damage. Of course, we have a really high resonating level as well, 831 on Fresto and Smokey, who are our major 2 damage dealers, and 821 on the remaining heroes. Okay, 31 billion damage. Both heroes are currently gulped, and he is not going to gulp anyone until he returns them to the field, which this is the unique thing, because if these Frestos were off the tile, he would have already gulped one of them by now. And that's why it's really important to have them on the buff tiles. Okay, now if we want to break the Mauler record that we're probably going to be able to get today, we're going to have to get over 45 billion. Because with the resonating level and the investment of his heroes, this team is definitely going to get 45 billion. I'm almost sure about it with the Maulers. Okay, 42 billion. And there seems to be some RNG involved in this team as well, because people have posted some crazy scores, but then some not so amazing scores. So let's see. Okay, I mean, it's solid, but it isn't quite enough, because it didn't even break the record that was set for the comp yesterday. And that is going to be, yeah, not too good. Okay, we can try it again, but before we try this, let's go back to the Maulers. Let's run it on, with the speed up, and just see how much we can get and how much we need to try and beat. Okay, let's go ahead and use the Mauler comp right here. But it's an interesting option to try, definitely. And we did have all the faction talents upgraded. It was pretty much at its maximum potential. I mean, we could have upgraded Ludovic to the 831 resonating, but I don't think it would have made much of a difference. Okay, let's put on 2x speed. So this comp is very consistent, the Mauler team. The run goes and plays out exactly the same each fight you do, and it just really depends on the number of crits you land, which will determine your final score. And it seems like the boss has like a low level of crit resistance, because most of the time you are landing a crit onto him, because there's not a huge like variance in the damage scores you're going to get. Yeah, already this is looking a bit more solid. I think very likely we're gonna be beating, and probably even beating our yesterday's record, I would imagine. But then we'll go back to the Graveborn team, give it one more try. Maybe it was just bad RNG, which limited us. Because the thing with the Graveborn team, even if it isn't like on average better, if it has the potential of doing better than the Mauler team, that can be good for the final day. And look at this. It actually, okay, this is doing 1.7 billion higher, right? But if the Graveborn team has the RNG to beat this, because the Mauler team is really set in like its maximum potential, this is pretty much as good as it's gonna get. 47 billion damage. And I do have all the key upgrades from the stage 3 of the faction talent, so it's not like it's an unfair test. We do have all of those upgraded. Okay, so that was a 47.7 billion. And with the Graveborn team, we almost got to 46 billion. So we can't cut it, we can't throw it out just yet. And the damage contribution, as you can see, Ludovic dealing pretty similar, close to the Smoky as well. I'm tempted to upgrade Ludovic because we could get him to the next level, but I don't think it'll make much of a difference right now. Okay, let's try again one more time with the Graveborn team. But even if we don't break the record today, I still think this is a team to watch, and maybe we'll do some more optimizations and think about maybe different even positioning of the heroes that could be more optimal. Anyway, let's give it a try. This is our final chance for today. Hopefully we can get... Yeah, it would be so amazing if we could break the record, but even if we can't, I mean, it's fine. This did fairly well. 46 billion is no joke, especially coming close to the overall top performing team right now. And like I mentioned, this team seems to have more RNG elements to it, which will maybe play in your favor with multiple runs, allowing you to get like a higher maximum score than the Mauler team. Okay, 42 seconds. This is when the damage kind of slows down right here. Yeah, there was a big burst of damage because we had the Smoky's blue aura, of course, dealing a lot of damage. But yeah, I think it's really the fact that like Ludovic and Smoky are just insane, along with Fresser, of course, with Fresser's Vicious Sting. The causing the enemy to lose health. Okay, this was this was about the same. Okay, pretty similar. So it looks like, I don't know, maybe there's not much RNG involved. Maybe when we get the charm bonuses, this is going to potentially compete with the top team. But as of right now, I feel like it isn't quite there. But it's a really interesting idea, and it's the closest we come from pretty much any team. Like, now this is probably going to open the doors to try different factions, Lightbearer, Wilder. No, I think Wilder wouldn't really make sense with the... you never know. You have no idea what's going to work, like, until you try them all. Even Celestial Hypergene, we'll have to try all of them. But in all of them, we're definitely going to be using Smoky, and we're definitely going to be using Fresto. The other 3 heroes can be changing, but I'm sure of that, because Smoky is such a key, like, as you tell from these damages, he deals like 10 billion damage himself. And I just realized I forgot to share the faction talents that we were using for these 2 different comps, so I'm on my account to show them, because these were basically the faction talents we were running. So 20 on stages 1 and 2. And then on stage 3, we're going to be going for all of the damage-oriented abilities, especially the new skill effect, which will cause the enemy, which will be the boss, for the first 15 seconds to be losing health equal to 60% of the prime carrier's attack. You have the minor skill upgrade to gain a bit more of a percentage of the stats of the sacrifice you want to run. And we have the defense penetration, attack, and on the left side, just some more attack from stats. For the Mauler tree, it is going to be pretty similar. The first 2 stages are going to be all 20 maxed out, and then on this final stage, or stage 3, we're going to be going for all of the offensive stats, and this actually is an offensive stat, energy on hit, so I recommend going for that if you're able to. And apart from that, we have this minor damage every 5 seconds, And yeah, that is pretty much it for the 2 trees and what you should be shooting for. Now, there is actually a new formation that we're going to want to try instead of the previous one, using Ludovic as a sacrifice and just moving Thorin up like 1 tile, for example, because then Ludovic would be the rearmost and he would be the sacrifice, because Ludovic has the highest attack of all the heroes. For example, 222 million attack here, and compared to my Thorin at my Thorin is actually in Paragon too, so it isn't a fair test, but still, like, over 50 million high attack. So that would have made a big difference. Getting, like, because the prime carrier is gaining up to 19% of the sacrifice's attack, right? So 19% of 50 million, it is a meaningful difference. So I should have really changed the positioning. I was thinking I wanted to use Ludovic, but I'm like, I don't want to put Ludovic and swap with Thorin. I'm going to give up on the charm bonus, but we could have just moved Thorin up 1 tile. And I'm sure you guys, if you were paying close attention, you're probably screaming at me to change it to that. And tomorrow, though, we're going to be doing testing on my account with this team and the Mauler team. That's why I've respected my tree to these faction talents, and we're going to try our best to make the Graveborn team work, because I think it does have the potential of being the next possibly top team. But thanks for watching, guys. That's going to be it for this video. I'll hope you enjoyed it, and I'll hopefully see you guys in the next video. If you want to check out the AFK Analytica Discord server, there's a link to that in the description of this video, or if you want to join my AFK Journey Discord server, there's a link to that as well. But thank you guys for watching. That's going to be it for this video, and I'll hopefully see you in the next one. And until then, everyone, peace out for now.